Why do they call so often? First, it might be helpful to understand how they get from their doorstep to yours. For over a century, the leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, has taught their adherents that Armageddon is right around the corner. As we've previously discussed, Jehovah's Witnesses are taught that their survival is dependent on their active engagement in the evangelizing work. Witnesses are taught that their survival is also dependent on regular attendance at all meetings, and they meet a lot. During weeknights, they have 2 back-to-back meetings centered around the evangelizing work. One is called the Theocratic Ministry School, which is basically a public speaking and communications course designed to help teach others. Another is the service meeting, which is also about the evangelizing work. There they will learn the monthly offers for the magazines, the Watchtower and Awake, or various tracts and publications. And they will learn how to give a 30 to 60 second pitch, what they call a presentation. They're taught how to overcome what are called conversation stoppers, like "I am not interested," or "I have my own religion." They also learn how to make return visits on people, how to cultivate interest, how to progress that person into having a weekly Bible study. At the Kingdom Hall, they also pick up literature for distribution. Prior to 1990, they actually had to purchase it, and they in turn would sell these publications to others at the door. This was stopped because of potential taxation issues, but sometimes witnesses are taught to ask the householder, you, if they would like to make a contribution to the worldwide work. Each congregation has its own territory, that is, its own piece of the map where they can find their public evangelizing work. Furthermore, they divide that area up into smaller territories that might contain a neighborhood or several neighborhoods, and place them onto what are called territory cards. Therefore, at the Kingdom Hall, a witness might check out a territory card. A witness will then work this themselves or with a group. Jehovah's Witnesses might work in the mornings, afternoons, evenings, any day of the week, including, sometimes especially, holidays. But most often, you will see them going from door to door on Saturday mornings. Most have off from their jobs that day, so it tends to work out that way. Typically, witnesses might gather at the Kingdom Hall, a witness home, or another meeting spot, and they will hold a brief meeting that might cover the current offer and a presentation. Then they will divide up into card groups. If a witness has a territory card, 1 or more card groups will be assigned to that territory to work certain streets. On a typical Saturday morning, they might aim to arrive at the territory by 10 a.m. When they knock on the first door, they can begin counting their time, and they might aim to work for a couple hours, perhaps mixing straight door-to-door up with other evangelizing activities. In general, witnesses pair up in twos, with the exception of accompanying young children. Sometimes, if there is an uneven number, a witness might have to go door-to-door alone for a time, which can be a daunting task. When they go to a door, they will ring the doorbell or knock, and if no one answers in a certain amount of time, they might ring and knock again. If they don't get anyone, they will move on, but sometimes not before writing down the house number as a not at home on a not at home slip. Therefore, if you choose not to answer the door, don't be surprised if they return. Often, typically in the next week or so, witnesses working that neighborhood might call on all those on the not at home slip. The more conscientious witnesses will work a typical territory for a month or so, rework the not at homes, before turning in the territory card. Of course, at that point, another witness could check out that territory card, and the process starts all over again. If you take literature, perhaps to be nice, or more quickly return to what you were doing, you must understand that you most likely have just become somebody's return visit. If you take the literature, witnesses are taught to take that as interest. Make a record, including your house number, your name, what literature you took, things you talked about, and any personal details they might think could help them the next time they talk to you. They might be taught to make observations of the yard or house. If there are toys in the yard, do you have children? Then they can incorporate that next time when they talk. Some witnesses compile these records into the equivalent of a little black book, as it were. Often, after an hour of door-to-door, witnesses will drive around and make return visits on any perceived interested ones. If the weather is too cold, hot, or rainy for the door-to-door work, they might opt instead to spend their time making return visits. If you become someone's return visit, you will then be called on more frequently. In fact, if you take magazines or tracts from every witness who comes to your door, you might inadvertently become the return visit of several witnesses in that congregation. If it seems witnesses call on you every Saturday morning, that might be why. But what if you do not want to talk with them? What if you want them to stop calling?